Eyes on YouTube, and we got, my gosh, what is the date today? 14th.
14th.
This is August. Man, we're at the middle of August
I
already,
know. I don't want to
Victoria.
talk about it.
What happened?
We blinked.
And it's hot again. It's hot again.
Look, Charlotte area went through a period last week where we did not see the literal sun for 7 days.
So if you're finding us for the first time on YouTube, this is Through a Therapist's Eyes. We kick up on the YouTube Live a little bit before we turn the real mics on for the show you hear on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. We're going to talk about how to handle life's transitions. This is episode 323, and we have Miss Victoria hanging out with us today.
Hi, y'all. Mr.
Neil behind the curtain, and we're missing somebody. Oh, dear. What happened? No, we don't want to talk about it, do we, Victoria?
I don't want to talk about it.
You need to see.
We miss you, John.
Yeah, John, we're missing you, buddy. Victoria and I were talking about that just yesterday. Like, where's the locks opening up at random times when he just wanders in?
Yeah.
But he will be back. John Lopez, if you didn't catch the show last week, he had a major move talking about life transitions. It's kind of the theme of the show this month this week. We talked about grief last week because he is moving to Florida, but it's not like it's a weird grief, right? Like he's going back to his family.
It's like we're all happy for him, and like I'm glad that he's that him and his wife have been able to have this opportunity to do that, but we're gonna miss him in person.
But he's sad and he misses us.
He's gonna do virtual with us once he gets set up down there. We'll do some virtual things. Maybe occasionally it might just be you and me in person. I don't know. We'll play
around with it.
See what it looks like, but
in any regard, so what else do I say? This is a YouTube intro, so that's it. That's all you get. 3 questions.
Oh yeah, 3 questions.
What recent change, big or small? You'll hear those in a second. I'm just gonna say let's rock and roll.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Let's go. You ready, sir?
Yep.
All right.
Are you ready?
Actually, I forgot to get the YouTube thing going. 1 second. Talk, Victoria.
You had one job.
Oh, wow.
One job.
Somebody who's not my dad said that to me once. And I was like, bro,
I'm going to throat punch you.
It was my father-in-law at the time. I'm like, you have got to be. You did not just say that to me. Over a turkey on Thanksgiving is what he said to me. I was like.
Oh, I kind of want to know that story.
Dude.
Tell me later.
Neil, is it on?
Yeah. He's getting his thing up so he can track things.
Here we go. Got it. Found it.
Don't know what that means.
All right. Sorry about that delay for the YouTubers
I just sat on the couch and looked pretty.
I am ready. I was going to say something rude, but I didn't. But you walked into it.
Okay, maybe,
You totally walked into it. Now everybody knows what I was going to say, so it fit. It would have been funny, but I didn't say it because I'm respectful of your beauty.
Oh, thank you.
You're a beautiful person, inside and out, Victoria. All right, we're ready to rock and roll, Neil.
It might be a little iffy sometimes.
Ready? Right, 3, 2, 1.
This is Through a Therapist's Eyes. You have found us on your platform of choice on, what is this, 14th, August the 14th, which we have Miss Victoria Pendergrass hanging out with us.
Hi, guys.
And we have Mr. Neil behind the curtains, and I am Chris, your host. Yes, you should see the big fat lip coming out of Victoria's lower lip for sadness of John not being with us.
Rewind.
Rewind?
Do that. Say that again.
Well, you had a big fat lip. John is not with us because he has moved, if you missed us from the last episode. So we're going to be talking about handling life's transitions, episode 323. This is where you get insights from a panel of therapists in your car or at home, knowing it's not delivery of therapy services in any way. The 3 questions that we're going to be talking about today: how to handle life's transitions. What recent change, big or small, has left you feeling unsettled or uncertain? When faced with change, secondly, do you tend to resist, adapt, or embrace it? And then why? And lastly, what support systems or coping strategies have you found most helpful during transitions? So we got the book hanging out there, Through a Therapist's Eyes. Shocking that would be the main title, one on marriage, one on self. John really gets upset if we don't give 5 stars.
Yeah.
Don't
And now
offend
with
him.
him gone, at least for today.
Just today. Just today.
in his honor, for him not being here today, that we need to definitely give some 5 stars.
I mean, it's a requirement.
I mean,
we don't want to upset the man.
It's only the thoughtful thing to do.
It really is your job. We provide you content that we hopefully dispel myths and stereotypes, get some information to you about mental health and substance abuse, and hopefully entertain you a little bit with fat lips when we're sad about something, Victoria. It wasn't that bad. Was it that bad? It was that bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Worst intro ever?
Not ever.
Not ever?
I'm sure there's been some bad ones in there.
Pretty close, though?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
it's okay. We're going to move on.
I'll try harder. Contact at throughatherapisteyes.com. Listen, this is the human emotional experience which we do endeavor to figure out together. You have a current event that I did not... An
interesting one, yeah.
Huh?
An interesting one.
An interesting current event that I am not even aware of. I did not see this, so what's up?
Well, okay, I will say it I don't know all the details, so take with what I'm about to say with a slight grain of salt. But there has been this woman on social media, specifically, I think a lot of like TikTok and stuff, and she has claimed that she has fallen in love with her psychiatrist.
Oh, be gassed.
Yeah, and I think in total she was seeing this person for like 3 or 4 years in total. She claims that like he was manipulating her, that he also felt the same way about her, and things like that. But I think she does like a whole 64-part video series on TikTok if you really want to go listen to like her
about
perspective.
This?
Yeah, she does. Like she
about this topic.
Yeah, she spills the whole story
about
her experience. And I mean, she even says throughout it that like he maintained professional boundaries and never like these things. She's quite delusional.
So
but
there's delusion.
Yeah, there's something in there.
Okay. By your assessment or
no? Yeah, I mean, she even like it basically feels like she's in a relationship with her chat GPT, who she named Henry.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like by using the vocal part of it, not the typing part, but like the where it can actually like talk to you.
Which, of course, there's a lot of
but
that,
yeah, but I think the reason that I bring it up in today's context, like for our show, is more to just bring up that like it's kind of brought up a conversation about boundaries. It's also online brought up a conversation of like what's the difference between a psychiatrist, a psychologist, and a therapist, and like, you know, all like these different types of like aspects and things that I think like play part in this big thing. But yeah, it's taken TikTok by storm. This girl who's fallen in love with her psychiatrist.
You know, I've never sat on ethics boards before. It's an area of the field I've never really engaged nor wanted to, honestly.
Yeah.
But when you there's a lot of this. I mean, there's a lot of this boundary crossing in our field, shockingly so, because I just don't have a category for it myself. I don't understand how you could become sexual or develop full relationships. I mean, it's
I mean, by all accounts,
wow.
Like, I don't know this person's name, the psychiatrist's name or anything like that. Like, I haven't dug into that. But from all accounts, even from her own words, it sounds like he never...
So he was appropriate?
Yeah, it sounds like he never crossed
she's
any...
documenting more her experience, her feelings.
Yeah. But even in her own words, she says things like he still maintained professional boundaries, and he, you know, was appropriate. And keep in mind, one key part of this is almost all of their sessions were via Zoom.
Oh, wow.
And I believe, if I might have this incorrect, but I believe they only met in person the very last session that they met. And
there's a big factor that goes into this that comes to my mind that is important with like self-disclosure of therapists and psychiatrists alike. And you got to be really, really careful with all that. You could be appropriate, but there's a fancy word called projection that people will come to a session with a therapist.
Well, there's also...
And they have their own feelings, they have their own experiences, and they project that onto you. We've talked about that on the show before with relationships, but people will do that with us.
Yeah. Well, there's transference and then countertransference.
And what is that?
So transference is... I might get this wrong because I really haven't talked about it in a while, but it's like when.
Why would you discredit what you know? Come on, you know.
Yeah. Well, I know countertransferences is we put our stuff onto
Yeah. So
clients.
transference is
So
the opposite.
Yeah, is when clients put their stuff onto us.
Yeah, which is similar to projection.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were to be examples like at one point she asked her psychiatrist if she can call him by his first name. And he is okay with that.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But she takes it as like this whole other thing that like that was him saying that, you know, whatever. But yes, I mean, I think it also brings into account of lots of different things. So I think it brings into account, like, for me, I don't know. For me, I see, like, I think this would have been handled differently by the psychiatrist if the psychiatrist was a female and it was a male client.
Oh, you think there's a gender sort of what disparity or difference or what?
I mean, and this might be more speaking for me personally, but like, if I feel like there's a threat of harm towards me, if I decline this person's thoughts or whatever, then, but I think that like, and I think that's part.
So you're assessing risk.
Yeah, and part of it could be why this lasted so long for this, like while this therapeutic relationship lasted so long for them, is because if he didn't necessarily feel any harm or any risk of harm towards himself, he and he was maintaining professional boundaries and things.
Can't control what she's
then like, you know, but then I think it did. For what it seems like is it did reach to a point where then services they
had to be discontinued.
Yeah. Again, don't know all the details. You can go look it up for yourself to get more information about, at least from her perspective of like what was happening. But
it happens more than you would think. Like I said, I was giggling as you were talking because I remembered a colleague of mine had a nudist in therapy, and he was expressing that he would be more comfortable even, you know, to be nude, you know, in session. And, of course, she was like, well, we're not going to do that.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
We're going to keep all of our clothes on.
Right. That's just, you know, but, I mean, it's like, wow, like people. But anyway, to get back, and then we'll get off of this, the self-disclosure thing is something that is important, particularly for younger therapists. It's a really, a little bit of an advanced skill in what it is that we do from our perspective. And the standard is really that you only self-disclose anything, even mundane, simple stuff, if it's to the benefit of the person that you're working with 100% of the time. And that's a tough standard, but I use self-disclosure. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I do.
My hope is that it is meeting the standard of, even if it's a social component, you know how we chew the fat a little bit in the beginning, to self-disclose that I'm a Steelers fan.
I mean, you're building rapport.
It's all about that. Yeah.
And that's why I think
that... Well, it's not all about that, but...
Right. And that's why I think... And maybe it is more younger therapist type thing, is that I do think people are a little bit more lax on that now. That like, yeah, I mean, I'm not sharing
really?
I'm not sharing intimate details about like my life.
You think there's been an industry change?
Subtly?
Really?
I think maybe it's more in the LCMHC type of thing than specifically like social workers, but I mean, I personally think that, like, it can be extremely helpful in a therapy session. And a lot of times...
But it can also be dangerous.
Yes.
And the reason why it's dangerous is because the boundaries aren't protected and you share in a way that isn't really to the other person's benefit. It has to be the client's benefit 100% of the time. Otherwise, you get yourself in sticky waters. And I've seen that happen.
Well, and I mean, I've had people come to me saying, oh, my previous therapist turned every session into something about them.
Oh God, I've heard that.
And
too.
I'm like,
nuts.
Oh,
how
please,
could that happen?
Please tell me if you think I'm doing that.
How can that
you know, it's like, how do you?
I wouldn't.
I think I would be self-aware before that would happen. Is like, you know, and I might, you know, we might get on tangents and go down rabbit holes or whatever sometimes in therapy, but it's like, I don't know. It's never to that extent.
I just want to say the standard one more time, and let's get to the topic today.
Yeah.
The standard is, if you're using self-disclosure, You have to be very careful about the boundaries because things like romance or whatever can be portrayed or perceived. It has to be 100% of the time for the benefit of the person that you're working for, which is the client. All right, so these three questions, did I even say them earlier? I think I did.
You did.
Good. So
rewind if you want to
really,
if you want to hear them again.
Really good questions, I think, this time. What recent change, big or small, has left you feeling unsettled or uncertain? And part of the genesis for this particular show is we are now in the season. Neil, you know it well, right? What? Actually, yeah, pop on there. He's grabbing from the mic. What did you just do recently?
Well, we took our kid back to his second year of college. So it's not as big of a transition this year, but last year was huge being his first year of college.
Oh, he's already a sophomore in college.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
And we have a mutual friend that followed up you last year being this year was his first time his daughter's going to college. So across the country, at least in the States, probably around the world, I think.
Actually, even the other guy has his one kid went to college. The other one's military. Like, there's all sorts of changes right now.
There really are. Of course, my son's in Japan, and transitions are tough, and there's a lot that goes into them. So part of what we really want to get to today is how do you cope with this? I mean, this is perilous stuff when you start losing your kid to moving out, and of course, separations and divorces, and moving with John, and graduation from high school. Now the kids are like, what do I do? This has really just got very real.
My kid's moving to the threes class on Monday.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll bite. And so how's Mom coping with this change? Little kid getting big.
Well, I mean, he's been 3 for almost half a year now. So but he's now finally potty trained at least enough for them to move him from 2B to 3A.
Oh boy.
So we're getting closer to more of like the preschool type
I was gonna
schedule.
Say, kindergarten ain't that far away, right?
Like he's going to follow a more stricter schedule. Like, he actually has to bring in some school supplies. It's not a lot. It's like some crayons and a pencil box, but but still, it's good.
That's significant.
Yeah, he even told my husband today, what did he say? Hold on.
Your kid told your husband.
He said, Daddy, I'm so smart. You are smart, little man. We love you.
That's cute. That's cute. Understanding life transitions are periods of change that can either be of the anticipated type. We've given several examples. Moving is you choose these things sometimes, but there's still major transitions or unexpected. Job
sometimes
loss.
you don't. Yeah, sometimes you don't
employment.
have any control over them.
Your boyfriend dumps you or whatever.
Yeah.
And these transitions often have so many emotions. Do you know why? Because it's a grief and loss experience, and we've talked about that last week. You see a correlation?
Yeah. It's also what I said last week is change. People hate change.
It's
for the most part, for a lot of things.
Even when you're choosing to deal with this, I mean, you're close to becoming a new parent. My gosh, that's the biggest life change you can go through, I think. It is the biggest before and after life event is becoming a parent.
Probably. I mean, I don't know if I'm that far into it to be able to agree with that or not, but
you're 3 years in. I mean, you probably can't even remember being, kidless. I mean, what that was really like.
My time hop helps with that.
Your what?
My time hop helps with that. It's an app. It's an app that shows you pictures and stuff from your social medias and from your photo album, like on this date, however many years ago. Like, so sometimes some things will pop up. It'll be like today, 14 years ago.
Facebook memories or whatever?
Yeah, pictures, posts, things like that. And so that helps some kind of remember. But yeah, like on the day-to-day, I'm like, I would
argue you have no idea what it was like before you have a kid just because it's such a unique experience.
You mean remember what it was like or know what it was like to have a kid?
Remember what it was like prior
to not having
the day-to-day. I'll tell you, for example, when Adam, my buddy, was coming home from Japan from the military and he spent a month with me, I was blown away. I was like, my gosh, this house is very different with him here. Very different. I was like, you forget.
Yeah.
And it's only been a year and a half.
Well, it's like another great example, and I don't know why I just thought of this. It's like when my parents, their neighborhood is across from like a shopping center that used to not be there. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what that land looked like. Like
totally
I can
different.
kind of remember it being just like flat ground and like trees, but it is very hard for me to remember. Even like after the Target had and shop other places had only been there for like 6 months, I was like, wait, I can't really remember what these used to look like beforehand.
No, it's real. I get that when I go home
So,
to
yeah, I mean, you're not
West Virginia.
off base there, yeah.
Stuff when I go to Morgantown or my hometown of Wheeling, it's like, wow, this is changed. This is different, and you have to kind of move with it.
Yeah.
So this is a natural part of life that we're really trying to figure out how do we cope with. And the danger is when you actually have one of these types of anticipated and even chosen changes, and then you're not looking out for it or aware, and you get hit with all the emotion. I think that surprises people. Like, how many times in therapy have you helped people understand, hey, you know what? You've just had a major transition, and there's a lot of grief and loss in here, and you have to cope with, even though you chose this as a decision.
Like every day,
a
every
lot.
session. Basically, I mean, it feels like.
Well, that's a lot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm exaggerating.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Go ahead.
But I do. I mean, no. But I think because even like small things, transitions can be small. Like my kid going from 2A to, from 2B to 3B. 3A. Good God. Anyways, changing classes. Like,
progression of age. And
yeah, so I think even small things. So then I think, we see these transitions and things in people's life probably on a daily basis. At least as a therapist, we see it in our office on a daily basis.
Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. I thought this was interesting. I come across this guy, William Bridges' material. Evidently a renowned expert on change, culture, outlines 3 phases. And I think this is an interesting way to look at, like, what's really happening to you in your life. If your kiddo has just gone off to college or you've had something else, happen, the first step is really the ending of something. This is over. There's a finality and end.
And it's not coming back.
And you have a loss with that.
Yeah.
And you have a primary task of letting go.
Let it go.
Are you going to pull a John song?
Let it go. Yeah, I'm not going to sing that song because everybody would run away.
Losing things
letting it go.
Equals ends and finishing. And boy, people do not like to feel out of control. I think the major task there of letting go, we've done whole shows on that too. These shows build on each other. So by the way, listen, go to the website, check out these older shows because they build on each other. I
was literally just talking to you the other day about how I hate when a series gets to the end.
Go ahead, say that. That's awesome.
So, look, hi, my name is Victoria, and I have anxiety. And because of that said anxiety, I literally, like, if a TV series or a book series or any kind of thing like this, even like a movie series, like trilogy type thing comes to an end, I literally feel sick to my stomach. I have a book sitting at home right now that's the last book in a series, and I have not, it came out like 3 or 4 months ago, and I have like the physical copy of it, and I have not picked it up to read it because even talking about it makes me want to cry. Because I cannot deal with things ending and like transitioning. I'm like, what am I going to do when there's no more books in this series? What am I going to do when there's no more Grey's Anatomy episodes? What am I going to do? Like, I'm just going to rewatch it from the beginning and watch it over and over and over again. And I will cry every time at the ending.
The thing is if you're not allowing yourself to pay attention to what you're feeling.
Yeah.
If you're not tuning in with yourself, you could literally even think of this conversation and think that's a silly example, the ending of a show. But when you pay attention to what you're feeling, you really make a connection with the characters. You really make a connection with the invested time. We have this with video games. I am playing Star Wars Heroes, and I have put so much energy into, gearing up my players and getting the teams together.
Getting it
and
just
winning
right,
Yeah, man. And if it just crashes, which it does from time to time, it's like, oh my gosh, I just lost 4 years of a thing with this. It takes a long time. These games suck you in, Victoria. But the other thing with that is, like, it's just the emotions. It's just the transitions that go on. But back to this guy, William Bridges. So
letting go.
Then you move into this weird space of what he calls a neutral zone. And I think that's like in the process of like acceptance.
Okay.
You know, you haven't fully accepted this. You may have even let go a little bit.
I mean, it says a period of ambiguity and confusion where the old has ended, but the new has not yet fully begun.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
like,
like that,
this strange
almost
space.
like limbo.
Mhm.
Like we're in limbo. You're like not, you know?
Haven't been able to move yet.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to get it yet. But you're in it and you're moving. It's just like through a time warp
Yeah.
or something.
Maybe it's like you sold your house, but you haven't quite been able to move into your new house yet.
Oh, totally. Being
So
in
then
an
you're
apartment.
like in this like,
I have a client right
you
now
know,
that's stuck in an apartment because
yeah.
they're building a house. They sold their house and they're exactly in that neutral zone.
and now they're waiting for that house to be finished or
And
whatever.
he talked about the sadness because this was their first home together. This was
Yeah.
their first married home, and it was like weird to see it without any furniture and whatever.
Yep.
These transitions are real. I got my thought that I kind of lost before, because if you're not paying attention to that, you'll miss it, and you'll think, "Oh, it's fine. Like I don't care,"
Yeah.
and it'll feel that way. But if you pay attention and you look at it, and you, like I said
Do some
before, you let those
self-reflection.
emotions come in, self-reflect, you will find all kinds of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could go back and watch The Sons of Anarchy for the first time.
I've never seen it.
It is. I'm so jealous of you.
You wanna watch it together?
That would be great. I would enjoy the heck out of that. I would enjoy
Yeah.
the crap out of it. It is such an emotional series, and it's got like 6-7 seasons.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I see clips of it on
when a couple of the
TikTok
things happen,
sometimes.
you're just like, oh my gosh, like,
Yeah.
you know, and good series make you really feel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And then you
So-
gotta like go to the next episode.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, or you get the trick to turn it off in mid-episode rather than get to
Yeah.
the end because there's always
Yeah.
it's one of
Let me avoid the trauma of finishing this episode.
So this just provides you a little bit of a framework, a little bit of an understanding, like, you know, how do we understand where we're at, where we're in with these things, and these phases are important. You know, letting go, things actually end, the neutral zone. Maybe he didn't say it. I'm adding the issue of
Missing it?
yeah. I'm get distracted with my fan.
Yeah,
is
I don't
like-
know. That was weird. It
the
just
fan's
started
about ready to
making
blow up.
Yeah, good gosh. Are we even safe?
The remote. Yeah, it's better.
about to
I think
crash.
the neutral zone is acceptance. You know, really
Yeah.
landing in acceptance. In the last, you transition, you have a new beginning. If you conceptualize the way that it's going to work that
You
way.
might just need to unplug it.
Hold on.
Okay, pause.
It's going down. It's going down.
Okay.
You're good. Sorry.
Anyways, so then the last being what? The last stage.
Which is where you're transitioning.
Yeah,
When you're
the
actually
new beginning.
in something new.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Embracing-
remember. You know, it's crazy. I remember it seems like things when it rains, it pours. You know, I graduated college, I became a newlywed person. I moved out of West Virginia for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and I started my first professional postgraduate job.
All within how much time?
Like now, all right now, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it was like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah.
Right. It just it piles together, and I'm no longer living in West Virginia. I'm no longer in
Right.
school. I'm now married. I'm no longer single. And then there's the divorce side of it. You know, when that happened.
Yeah.
You know, I don't talk about it a whole lot, but it was so long ago and whatever. But I don't know. These things they just pile up. They pile up on you, and when it rains, it pours. And oftentimes you'll have multiple transitions. So then you're kind of doing these process for 4 things all at once.
Yeah. And then people wonder, like, well, why am I like eating my feelings? Well, or why is this happening? Well, you know, why am I crying all the time? Well, like, you know,
right.
you're either pregnant or you just went through a lot of transitions. Like,
And the therapist oftentimes, right, Victoria, we help people see, like, well, that is an impact. of
right. I mean, yeah,
your
let's break it down.
transition.
Let's talk about it. Let's, you know.
And do you find that people are shocked at that?
I think it's sometimes like a forethought or like an afterthought for people, so they just don't attribute the symptom that they're feeling to the fact that they just went through like 7 transitions in a 6-month period or something. You know, like
haven't put it.
haven't put
together.
two
Gotcha.
two
And then we put
together.
a title on it. We put a
we put a
process
name
on
to it. We put a
Yeah.
We've got to give them a space to process it, a place to talk about it, all the stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, what do we do, Victoria? How do we manage this? I think there's so much in that question, and
How do we manage transition?
yeah.
We
when
ignore
faced with
it.
change, do you
No, I'm
tend
just
to
kidding.
resist? Don't do that.
Just kidding, don't
That
do
is
that.
not suggested. But the question number 2, when faced with change, do you tend to resist, adapt, or embrace it? You know, in my book, I have a chapter title. I forget the exact title,
book?
but it
First, second.
first one on self. It's like, don't fight against change. Like, resist fighting, because I think that a high percentage of the time, like you said, people don't like change. There is a major battle in resisting this change.
Well, has anyone ever told you that change is the only thing that's constant?
It's a true phrase, and
Yeah.
people love to point that out. The only guarantee you have is that things will be different. You know?
Yeah.
Can you flow with it? Can you go with it?
I don't
Can
know. That
you
book that's sitting on my shelf that hasn't been read yet would say that I
Struggle with-
that I resist it because
What book is that, Victoria?
it's actually called Rewind It Back. It's by
Oh.
Liz Tumforday.
Oh, cool.
Um,
And you haven't started it yet?
nope. I look at it every night when I go to bed because it's right next to my bed.
Okay,
with
can
all
I
the
give you
other-
can I give you a direct suggestion?
Yeah.
Read that book before Lucas goes to kindergarten. Okay? Do yourself that favor.
Why?
Because that's a weird day.
Oh,
The transition to kindergarten,
yeah.
that's a big day.
Why would I need to read the book before that?
So that you can accept the change. Deal with it better.
Oh,
Right?
I mean, Rewind It Back is not.
How did I just lose you? What happened
don't
here?
know.
What happened?
I don't know. I mean, why? I'm sorry. Is it the book title?
No, I'm assuming this is a
Oh.
book about adjusting to change. And,
No.
oh.
It's a romance book. It's a.
Oh.
It's a.
Neil, help me, brother.
It's
You're
about.
on your own. You're on your own.
Yeah,
Come on, man. I need help. I'm reaching out for help now.
It's about a guy who like reconnects
don't
with
need
his
to know.
long lost love
We
or
don't
whatever.
need- we don't
Rewind it back, like.
This is what happens when John leaves. This is what happens to the show.
Utter chaos.
Right. Victoria, I love you. I'm just gonna say that.
You know the type of books Victoria reads. That's not going to be a deep type of book. This is going to be.
I actually thought it was an academic self-help processing book about life changes.
Crying. Oh my gosh. Anyways.
All right, you need to take a breath. We need a drink.
No, I'm fine. You can
good?
talk.
I need to talk now. Okay, let me take over this next segment, girl.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Anyways.
Wubsy. All right, what do we do with these transitions? Let's get us on track.
Oh.
How do we cope? How do we do?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing is just accepting it or acknowledging it. Maybe not accepting it, but at least acknowledging that, like, hey, I am going through change. I am going through transition. There are new things happening in my life, you know, and just having that realization of like, okay, this is happening.
I'm really glad you said that way. I don't know. I have a strong sense about identification in what we do with folks. Like I really feel like if you don't spend time to really reflect on what you're feeling, what your emotions are, and identify what's happening with you, and then sometimes to you or around you, you can just kind of subterfuge yourself in your own world and refuse to even look and identify things.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to happen subconsciously. Then it's just going to happen under the surface. And then it's just going to affect your behavior and your perceptions and your insecurities. And you don't even know it if you don't identify it. So I totally I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that goes back to your whole thing of like you miss it.
Yeah. Yeah. It just, You don't even,
And then you're confused like months later when you're like crying for whatever. It's
I love the way you laid out.
or-
I love the way a little bit ago you laid out the real responses. Like,
Yeah.
why am I angry all the time? Why
Yeah.
am I crying? Or
why am I stress eating? Or like, why am I eating everything that I blame my eyes on?
Those
Or-
are perfect because they really identify. Person hasn't identified this change.
Yeah.
Person's not aware that their emotional system is very aware.
Right, because like you said, even when you're voluntarily choosing this change to come about in your life, that doesn't negate emotional feelings. Like, you can still feel emotional things and still have feelings about it and thoughts about it, even if it's something that you're welcoming
Yeah.
into your life.
Yeah.
Also, things like having a routine.
Okay.
Sorry,
What do you
were we
mean
done
by-
with that? I'm moving on. I mean,
Well,
sorry.
well let's stay a moment with the buzzword
Of
mindfulness.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Lots of people talk about,
Oh,
how
that's
do we
my
really
thing.
get.
I love mindfulness.
So why would you want to skip over the mindfulness?
I'm
part?
sorry, I kind of zoned out there for a second.
So tell us about your favorite thing, mindfulness.
Oh, well, I mean, all my clients at the end of every session, as long as they're willing, I do not make anyone
Do you still
force
do
anyone
that?
to- yes,
That's cool. Yeah. Okay.
unless they tell me otherwise. I take a deep breath with every single one of my clients at the end of our sessions. Like, I do it too. I don't just stare at you while you take a deep breath. We go in through the nose, out through the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, honestly, it's turned out to be a great thing because some clients will be like, actually, I need a couple more,
Oh wow, that's cool.
And so then I'll sit there and I'll
It's a teaching
keep,
moment.
yeah, I'll keep breathing with them. If they have a FinChap, usually we do 3 because then they can check off their 3 deep breaths goal for the day on their FinChap, if you know what that is.
Well, since you've said it, you have to explain it.
Well, FinChap is just a app that you can use where you have to take care of a bird by completing tasks throughout the day. It can help with self-care and goals and things like that. It's a great app. Finch like the bird, Finch. But anyways, so I think that like, and actually even on the app, they provide some mindfulness exercises and like breathing exercises that you can do. So, I mean, I always relate it back to like our nervous system. And when we're like super emotional and our nervous system is like on edge, taking things like deep breaths, literally like it allows oxygen to get into your brain so that your nervous system can calm down. And so like being mindful, like being present of that, because mindfulness is really about being present, being in the here and now, like not focusing on like what was going on 5 years ago, not focusing on what's going to happen in 5 years, but like what's happening right now.
There's lots of ways to go through this, and I was just listening to you sit and describe mindfulness, and I thought, I'm not the type of person that will just sit and listen to music. It's just not like a pastime for me. I like it when I do it, but I don't do it regularly. But be purposeful here is what I think I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Because I remember like 2 different times in life that were rather bigger changes for me. One, I had just said, the time that I was graduating college and
Right.
newlywed and all that, I really needed to go back to West Virginia. And then I also remember dealing with separation and divorce issues.
Right.
And, in both instances, I do recall, I love this. You might not remember. Do you remember Neil Chowabunga? Have y'all ever heard of Chowabunga? There's an awesome song. I Get Knocked Down.
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba? Oh, I said it wrong. Thank you, Neil. Chumbawamba. I get knocked down and I get up again. And that's basically the line of most of the song.
Yeah.
It
I
is-
get knocked down.
And I get up again. And you're never going to keep me down. Like, I
know
jammed
that one.
that.
Yeah.
And in these 2 big experiences in life, man, I remember pairing that song with
Yeah.
a few other songs. And it was just, I was just sitting in it.
Yeah.
And the one when I was going to West Virginia, I was in my car and it came on naturally.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like,
that's
Oh
a
my
universe
God.
thing.
And I just
yeah.
tears were streaming. I was really like, just like, wow. And I'm like, that's right. That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. And I went home to West Virginia. I came back, and the rest is story. The rest
Yeah.
is history. It's
Well,
a
I
powerful,
mean,
purposeful
yeah.
mindfulness activity.
Yeah, we can definitely use things like music and sounds and other things to help keep us grounded or help us to like remember a certain time in our lives.
So moving on a little bit,
Like I said,
you
developing
mentioned-
a routine.
You mentioned the routine on our brainstorm. That's
You want to talk
I
about
almost
it?
feel like that's a play on mindfulness. It's
In a sense, yeah, because you're like creating the sense of normalcy, the sense of like the control,
yeah.
like controlling the chaos or like
The serenity
whatever.
prayer.
Yeah.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. We've talked about that a
Yeah.
little bit. But the courage to change the things that I can. The third line, of course, the wisdom to know the difference. But this is a purposeful activity that you really trigger, and it does. It activates an element of agency, and internal resiliency allows you to resiliently create new routines wrapped around the old. I mean, I am completely empty nested now. It's like, talk about routine changes.
Does your house echo?
Huh?
Does your house echo at this point?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much. It also stays clean.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. That's
You and the dogs.
lovely. That is lovely. So,
But I mean, I think even things like, okay, for example, like if you have a go-to nighttime routine, we'll be specific and say a go-to nighttime skincare routine, right? You do the same thing every night. Look, here's what I'm saying. But you have some transitioning going on in your life.
let me say, do whatever you want with that. I would love it if you said more about the skincare routine. I thought you were going to sleep routines. If you're not going to do sleep routines, let's add that. Go.
Yeah. If you have a particular sleep routine, getting ready for bed routine, sleep routine, skincare routine.
Is that what you meant by skincare?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A nighttime routine, we'll say. I just went skincare to like a specific part of nighttime routine. But yeah, if you have a nighttime routine, and let's say like you've had some transition in your life, like you were forced to move or something like that. Even if you chose to move, either one, like keeping that same routine, even though you're in a new space, even though you've experienced this transition, like it keeps you somewhat grounded in like uncertain times or whatever. Like, does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you're looking at me like I'm
letting you go, letting you
yeah.
listen.
But yeah, I mean, so keeping those same types of, it might be different, like you might be doing it in a hotel room instead of in in your house, normal house, or you might be, doing it with 3 other people around you doing whatever, but like keeping some sort of like that normalcy and routine. And like, yeah, you might have to make adjustments or something, like if half of your stuff is still packed up, but still trying to maintain some sort of like routine. Or whatever.
I was just reflecting, and again, I was laughing at Victoria at another example. I don't know. I'm like full of like personal examples today. I guess because we talked about personal disclosures. All those different on the show. I was just laughing at my brother's separation when he went through his separation. He shocked me because let's just say he's not the cleaning type person.
Yeah.
He is down there scrubbing the shower, like scrubbing the whole thing, like with a freaking brush and
everything,
detailed everything. And I was aware, and I went up to spend time with him and be there for him and through that transition for him and all. And it was just, that was his, I need agency. I'm going to, this is what I can control.
Yeah.
This is what I
can control the stuff I put on my face for my nighttime routine, for my skincare nighttime routine or whatever.
And we don't need to be bashful about that. Like,
no.
Controlling the things that you can control. You know how the word control really gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is people are controlling, or you're supposed to be accepting of change. You don't have to fight to control things. It's like that's not... To have agency and exercise the courage to control the things that you can is something that people really struggle with. I think as much as accepting that this is really finally done.
Yeah.
This is ended. You've reached you reached a cliff that you're jumping off. It feels
Right.
like sometimes.
Yeah.
You can embrace that. It's really okay to control it. What you
Embrace
can
the
control.
change. Yeah.
Trouble is when you try to control things that you can't control, or when you don't accept things
Or control the things that you can't change.
and you stay stuck.
Yeah.
Now you're just going to pound your head against the wall.
Yeah.
If you got a life transition, if your kiddo is going to college, you're going to cry, you're going to be upset, is going to be turmoil, go with it and allow that feeling to be there. But now we're talking about, like, take control. What are you going to do with your time, mama? You don't have a kid that's in the house, or maybe you got a couple
Right.
kids left over, but, like, hey, here's an idea. Go on a date with your husband, right? Or if you're a single mom and you haven't done that, go on a real date.
Yeah.
Like, life opens up, and if you're not paying attention and you're not controlling what you can control, that will just be a missed void, a missed opportunity, and you don't get the
Yeah.
beauty of the other side of the change, the new. You don't get the new beginning part.
Yeah.
You just stay stuck.
Yeah. I actually have a client who's kind of currently in that.
Stuck?
Well, not necessarily stuck in a sense, but they've had a lot of transition in the last, like, 5 to 6 years in their life. And things are kind of now they're not always at, like, on 10 all the time. And now they're having this, like, who am I outside of being a mom, outside of being a wife, outside of being,
yeah.
all these things. And it's because, like, all these transitions
Well, your
and change
identity just got stripped.
yeah. I mean, it's been some time, but now that it's finally starting to, like, there's been some calm, right? And now they're like, okay, well, who the heck am I? Like, what, what do I really want out of life? Like, all these things. And, and we're working through that. But yeah, like,
existential crises.
yeah, but that's
profound-
because, like, they weren't able to do that or think about it 2-3 years ago because of everything going on in this person's life, or whatever. Like, and now it's the time, so now we're focusing on it now.
Right.
Sometimes it is, but I mean, better late than never with some things.
Yeah. And I'm listening to you, and I got examples. I don't.
You're, like, popping full of examples
I
today.
really am. I'm telling you. But I'm working with somebody who's got just multiple double-digit years ago went through a major transition and still has all kinds of resentments and feelings and emotions. And the more and more we talk about this particular change for them, it's like she's realized. And I'm almost needing to keep my brain into, like, okay, this has been a long time ago for this person, but it might as well be right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Now
yeah.
it's in
And
the
that's very
room.
similar to what we talked about with grief last week.
Right.
When we were like, if you're not dealing with this crap, then, not that it's crap, sorry, that might have been the wrong word. But if you're not dealing with it, then, yeah, a death or a loss that happened 15 years ago now feels like it happened 2 days ago.
It's still there.
It's still there because you're not dealing with it and you're not working your way through it.
But the converse is also true. It occurs to me that if you really are being mindful, paying attention to yourself, aware of what you're feeling, allow that feeling to be there, cope with it and deal with it with some of these things that we're talking about, those transitions can also be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Can be. There's no hard and fast rule, about how long this is supposed to take or what you're supposed to do. Now, people have opinions about that, right?
Yeah.
But be careful about that because it really is a unique process for people.
Yeah. Well, just like grief, how we talked about how everyone experiences grief differently. Everyone experiences transition differently. You and I could go through the exact same thing, and we could have 2 totally different reactions and dealings with it.
We are. We're experiencing the loss of John in the office. And I would imagine if we went into the weeds with it, you and I are having different experiences with that. I know some of them are similar because we connected on it
the other day, sometime this week.
Yesterday morning, yeah, right? We were commiserating, but it really is a different experience.
Yeah.
And how long or how short or, what the emotions are that are felt, how
Yeah.
it plays out in our own life experiences. You and I have a very different experience with John
Right.
transitioning.
But I think that kind of leads us to also like another thing to do
Okay.
is like seeking support.
Yeah. That's
Like
my
we-
big one, man.
Yeah,
You-
we
you
don't
just-
like you don't have to just like how you don't have to go through grief alone, you don't have to go through transition alone.
Please don't.
Like, okay, yes, theoretically speaking, you might not, there are times where you might not be able to find someone who has been through the literal exact same thing as you. But still, we can still lean on others for support. Like, even a therapist is seeking support. Like,
Oh,
or
gosh.
going to therapy is seeking support.
If I use
like,
the word friend in relationship to you, you are going to get my reality, my genuine experience in the moment.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Neil? You don't know that? You know that well.
Yeah.
He knows that well.
Yeah.
Because, man, of all the things, I made that hopefully a big point last time, too, last week with grief. Like, this is the biggest piece. I really don't know why people just end up being alone with things. I mean,
End up being what? Sorry, I didn't catch
alone with things. I mean,
Oh,
I
gotcha,
understand it. You know, one of the things I added on our list here, you know, I know the clinical reasons, but it's just, I guess I'm trying to convey that it baffles me that people will allow this for themselves.
Well, do you think do you have a lot of people who, when they're going through times like this, they have this thought or feeling like they don't want to be an inconvenience to other
Burden.
people or a burden?
Yeah, 100%.
Because, so I have a client who we literally just talked about this Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. And one thing I was talking to this person about is that, like, when you have these people close to you in life that you feel comfortable enough to go to for support, you also have to be trusting that they will tell you if they can't handle it, if they can't be there for you.
Okay,
if
let's
they
try
can't,
something on this.
Yeah.
Play the part of I don't want to be a burden and talk to Neil about my things. So I'm going
Okay.
to say, hey, have you talked about your transition?
No,
You're going to say no. And why have you not?
because I don't want to be an inconvenience to anybody. I don't
Okay.
want to bother anybody. I
Feel
don't
like you're a
wanna
burden.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the way I like to turn this around on people. I literally take joy in this. Because I will ask the person, Victoria, you know, I mean, have you ever had a friend come to you that you trust, not just a random person, but somebody comes to you, Victoria, and they open up their heart a little bit or a lot.
Yeah.
And they become very vulnerable and genuine with you. They're straight up, and they really wanted your support. Honestly, have you ever, I don't even like permanently words, ever, forever, no one, always.
Yeah, you don't
I
like
those.
absolutes. Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen where you felt and wished genuinely that that person wouldn't confide in you?
No, I don't think so.
Not ever.
No.
And in matter of fact, do you not feel a sense of honor that this person's like, wow, like they're willing to talk to me about something so hard? That's a position of incredible honor, right? Do you not feel honored by that?
Yes.
Stay with the client thing. Because then I'll turn it around, right? And I'll say, Victoria, why would you not think the other person feels that way when you're going to them? And it just stops people in their tracks.
Usually, yeah.
You're just not a burden. It's an absolute honor that you bestow on that
Yeah.
person, and they feel grateful for it. Also, and I'll follow this up, the emotion that you're feeling is because it's your emotions. They are not my emotions, even if I've had similar experiences. So there is a fundamental reality that the intensity level of what somebody experiences with other people's is way down the intensity level to what you're feeling being way high.
But-
it's
and-
just a fact. It's an
And
emotional fact.
kind of where I was going with what I was saying is that, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I do think like if if you did come to me, what like if say it was the other way and Neil tried to come to me with his problems or something,
Okay.
and I wasn't in a mental headspace to like I also had my own crap going on.
Yeah.
Like then it's up to me as the grown adult to be like, okay, Neil, I want to be there for you. I want to help support you, but like now's not a good time for me. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
I'm going
Totally fair.
But
And
then
I've had
that's
that
also
happen.
part of it is that like you have to be able to trust that the people that you choose to have in your lives will say that. And if they're not telling you that they don't have a problem with it, then you can still go to them and be like, oh my gosh, I need help. I need support. I need this, I need that.
You know what breaks my heart?
Yeah.
is when people are in the transition. I actually had a handful of examples today. My gosh.
You are.
Another client this time, though, was going through, what was his thing? Yeah, it was a separation, right? Yeah. And he had no friends.
Yeah.
None. Yeah. Is there anybody that you could talk to? No.
Like
I really
literally none, except
None.
for me, the therapist. Like,
Right. And I'm sorry, the reality of it is we are completely woefully inadequate for that
Yeah.
purpose.
we are not your
It's an
friend.
hour in a time.
We are not your friend. Keeping those professional boundaries. We are not your friend.
It's an hour in a week.
We are your therapist.
It's not 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you need. So when that's the case, let me step into like make achievable goals.
Yeah.
Set purposeful things in place in your life, and we've got him in meetups. He's going out with groups of people.
Good,
He's got
yeah.
a new person at work that he actually confided in and talked to. Like,
Yeah.
man, he's clipping, and
Yeah.
and he's doing so much better than when
Yeah.
he got here.
Got to do some SMART goals.
What are SMART goals for those that haven't heard?
So SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable. Oh, crap, what's the R?
I'm not sure. Neil probably got it though. That's your realm. He's gonna look
Is
it up.
it
Yeah.
relevant? Oh, relevant.
Relevant. Okay.
And then like timely.
Timing.
Timely, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it is relevant, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, so is it relevant to actually what you're working towards? But yeah, like I mean, they teach you SMART goals for a reason.
And make them small. Do not diminish.
Yeah.
If you're setting a goal for yourself that I am going to increase my nutrition and eat a meal at the end of the day at 6:00, and that's my routine, then set that for yourself. It's an amazing thing when you do something for yourself, an action. I mean, an action point, something that you could take action with, is huge.
But with that, we also can't be super hard on ourselves and beat ourselves up if you miss a day.
Okay.
Like, yeah, say you had a rough day at work, you didn't even make it home till, 5:45, 5:50. Well, that logistically you don't have enough time to cook your healthy meal and eat by 6. It's okay if you like.
So this is
there
one of the
is some
things- this
there
is-
is some flex. There can be some flexibility in these things that we set for ourselves.
So this is one that I actually struggle with a lot when I'm in
The flexibility?
transitions. No, the
Keeping
the
goals.
self-compassion.
Oh, self-compassion. Yeah.
The grace for yourself.
Oh gosh, my clients know I talk
Like-
about grace all the freaking time.
Well,
Giving yourself grace.
see, I have this thing where I hold myself to a standard of really charging through emotions, like managing them, being on point with it. Like
Is that because do you feel like you should because you're a therapist? Or because
Yeah,
you're a
but
man?
lose the word
or because
should.
you're yeah.
Not using the word should. It's not like I don't feel guilty or I don't struggle
Gotcha.
with shame with it all.
Yeah.
I just feel like, look, I want to do well. I mean, bad things are going to happen to me, and I want to be able
Right.
to even model and be able to talk about, like, practice what you preach. And
Yeah.
and that, I can't tell you, like, that has really, I mean, it's been a double-edged sword because it's really, really helped me when things are tough. Like, I'm pretty resilient. I've developed. And I'm
Yay.
proud of that. I've developed an internal resiliency that's pretty strong, but that's not easy to develop. And I don't
No.
hold myself a lot of compassion. I push myself to journal. I push myself to deal with the emotions. I push myself to allow that to be there. And I probably need to be just like graceful and be like, hey, it's okay.
I mean,
Whatever is.
Look, I'm full of examples today too. I've literally had a couple this morning, and one of the things that they have implemented is quiet time,
Love that.
but like with each other.
Right.
And one spouse brought up, well, we were gonna do quiet time this other day, but we ended up watching a TV show instead.
Okay.
And they looked at me, and I think they knew what I was gonna say.
Did really? What do you mean?
That's okay.
Okay.
Like, that's okay. Quiet time can look different. It doesn't always have to be we sit here and have a deep, soulful, dig into your deepest, darkest soul, whatever, deep conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It can be let's go to Mount Holly Friday nights or whatever they call that thing. Like it's let's go on a date. Let's go for a walk. Let's
Sit
watch
on
a TV
mountaintop
show.
and quiet.
Yeah, let's sit on the porch and share beer or drink or whatever your choice is. Like, and I mean, I feel like as soon as they said it, they looked, and I was like,
Yep.
you know where I'm going with this. And so yeah, like it doesn't have to be this rigid expectation that it always has to be something, or that it all like if we're doing this dinner at 6, well, like if it's 6:30 or 7, it's still fine. You're still getting your healthy meal. It's just
I love that you
not
added
at right
flexibility.
6. Like
Flexibility is really important.
yeah, and I'm not saying I'm Mrs. Perfect over here with that either, because I struggle with flexibility too sometimes. But like it is. I mean, it's part of like it's part of navigating transitions, because a lot of times even transitions that we choose, that we volunteer for, don't go smoothly. Like it's not always a perfect thing,
Right.
And
it's not step by step.
Yeah,
Do
like
this, then do that, and then do that. It's not neat and tidy.
yeah,
You really got to go with it. There's so
Yeah,
many
for
things
sure.
that happen with it, and I think, it occurs to me to just talking about this in the different elements that you go through transitions. I kind of feel like when I said emotional resiliency, internal resiliency, like what an important thing. When you develop that in the past, it's almost like if I got through that, I can get through this.
yes,
Right?
Yep. Well,
Let me
that's
say
type
that
of
again.
mindset. Yeah.
If I got through that, then I can get through this. If you create that as a mantra, even write that on the expo marker
On your mirror.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Because
I love that.
I'll tell you, the transition that I had as a child moving into, when my parents split, that was one of the most devastating things that I had to get back up off the ground from. And I mean, there's almost nothing, I can go back to that is what I'm saying. And it took me years on that one.
Yeah.
But I built that resiliency, and the next big changes didn't take years because I had those skills developed. I had that ability. I had that confidence. I had that knowledge that I did that, and I can do this.
Yep.
Yeah, this is resonating with you, isn't
If
it?
I had my bell, you would get dings.
Really? Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Why is that so near and dear to your mind?
I was just saying, I agree. My clients, I have a bell in my office, and when they do good things, or like,
You reinforce it
or
with
they're
a bell?
they're really
You're
like
literally
happy.
doing Pavlov's
Yes,
dog with
I have a
people.
bell. And like the other day, I couldn't reach my bell during a virtual session, so I gave ding, 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 dings. I gave verbal dings
I love that.
with the motion, ding, 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 ding. So yeah.
Things can feel so overwhelming when you're in the middle of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe talking to you out there listening that may not feel the confident self-resiliency that you've developed, just realize that it's just one little step at a time. I mean,
Yeah.
you really get consumed with what you're worked up on, and it feels just like it's controlling you, and it's overrunning you, and it's all over you. It's overwhelming you, and it's kind of like that's a feeling. But just remember, you can pay attention to the way that you feel, but it doesn't have to be true as fact. Feelings will lie.
Feelings can lie to you,
They will
yes.
confuse you.
Feelings
and
are not facts.
They become mixed. You say that a lot. Feelings
say
are not,
that a lot,
are
yeah.
not facts.
Yeah.
So
Well, because one of the we don't have to get into it, but like with Socratic questioning, like one of the questions is this thought based on facts or is it based on feelings? And like, if it's based on facts, well, then facts are facts. But like, your feelings are always valid, but they can lie to you, and they're not facts. Like, that is a fact.
that's a fact.
That is a fact.
That part's factual. The rest
Oh,
of it isn't.
but yeah. So I mean, keeping those things in mind, and like, it doesn't have to be perfect.
So another personal example. I'm wrapping up, realizing in my brain, I have to manage the time and things and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, Neil, this is the last time, or one of the last times, we're going to be doing this virtually.
Or in person.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we will again at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very different for our show.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy.
So this will be a we're literally going through a transition right now.
Like, my office is where we're at. That's where you see the YouTube version.
Yeah.
This is my office. This is where I do therapy.
Yeah. I sit where your clients sit.
You'll still see it because I think I'll do the show here, but it'll be on our platform where we log in. And that's kind of sad.
You'll get to see my office because I'll probably do it here.
Yeah, we'll both be here.
We have better internet here than at my house.
That's important. But you know what I mean? I mean, Victoria, and we had this last time with John. I mean, it's kind of a sad moment for me personally.
For sure.
Having created the podcast and this platform and doing all this, and then we're going literally through a transition ourselves.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. I don't want to do the shrink wrap up.
That's fine.
I don't want this episode. Can we just keep talking about this?
No, because I need to go home to my family, but and I'm starving.
So it is time for the shrink wrap up. That's where we end the show with a little bit of a review. Each of us has a fun game. We compete, and Neil gets to choose who wins for the week. I won last week, Victoria. You were here.
Yeah, I was here.
That's right. I was thinking it was just John. Well, we've had weird summer schedule, and
I know. This is probably only the 5th time I've been on this whole entire summer, if that. I've been. Even people have asked me. My grandma. If you're watching, hi grandma. She tries to watch every week, and
That's awesome.
She's called me and been like, "Are you okay?"
She might do that. After
why are you not on? You haven't been on there in a couple weeks. I'm sorry, grandma, but I've had scheduling issues.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Let's do rock, paper, scissors real quick. One and done. I got you. That means I get to decide. You go first.
Okay. My shrink wrap up is that we all go through transitions, big or small, and they can be, we can go work our words. I automatically fail because I can't talk right now. But we can
Restart, over, go.
Okay, so we all go through transitions in life, big or small. We can get through them. It can take time. We need to give ourselves grace. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be done.
Okay. Yeah, I really feel very strongly about these topics of last week with grief and building off of that into transitions. And we see so much of it in our office. And I know you listening have been through, are going through, or will go through major transitions. To your point, Victoria, they could be minor as well. These can really be emotional gotcha moments. And I hope that we've given you some things to think about in coping and managing, because you really are a resilient person that can handle major things with grace and get through. And then you get the bonus, then you get the new, then you get the rebirth. Yeah. And that's the beautiful side of this. That's what we're after.
I think I got to give that one to Chris.
Yeah,
you're 2-0 the last little bit. Yeah. So Victoria, you got to step up. His ego's going to get inflated.
I stumbled through my words, and mine was short and sweet. But
so, good job, Chris. Great show, guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Neil.
I mean, like I say all the time, I have a sign in my office that says "Strive for progress, not perfection."
Love that. Listen, you're dealing with your transitions. We have one in our office. We will see you next week, same time, same place, same method. We're going to be using a platform. We will see John live in the person. So come back next week.
Maybe he'll give us a tour of his house.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Maybe not on air, but
before we
record.